All right, welcome back, everyone, to Black Bull Podcast. Today we got Pleasure Curses in the house for our sessions. Say hi to everyone.
Hi.
Hey.
So we're doing this actually backwards. They already performed for us, and it was freaking awesome.
It was books.
it was a lot of fun. And we kind of were reminiscing a little bit on the good old days of performing in bars and restaurants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
So what have you guys been doing in your free time since you can't really go out?
Since before time.
Yeah.
Bring that closer to you.
Cooking a lot. You're definitely cooking a lot. Reading a lot. Listening to a lot of music. I don't know. Nothing really glamorous, to be honest. Trying to stay up. Just like head above water a little bit. Not go crazy.
Yeah. So but you've been in the studio a little bit, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's
Closer.
I feel like it's been Oh, am I good?
Yes.
Am I good?
Yeah.
I'm not the microphone one. He's the microphone one. I'm the headphones one.
Just gonna let you sit in it though.
I mean, yeah, it's weird. It's so weird to me. It feels so unnatural. I feel like I don't know. It's hard making stuff right now for me, at least. I can't. I don't know. That's all. It's just so weird. Everything is so weird.
When you write, is it just really dark?
I think oddly enough, there were certain songs that we were working on that have almost become prescient to what's going on now.
Yeah.
In a certain way.
Yeah.
You know, where you kind of see where something is going, and if you write about it as though it's an extreme, things get more and more extreme, then it does become a weird premonition.
Right.
Yeah, it's a way better answer than the one That's a way better answer than the one I gave.
Well, I noticed a lot because we have a lot of visual artists on here, primarily visual artists on here, and a lot of them almost use that as an opportunity to like fine tune their craft.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, for them, it was almost beneficial, but
Yeah.
for a musician, where your livelihood is going in front of people and performing, and that really kind of gets your energy going, I could see how it might have its pros and cons.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Art's weird, man. I just feel like also like sometimes it feels like there's just I've sat down in front of the computer trying to make something, and it'll end up coming out with just something I wouldn't have ever made before. And sometimes it's in a good way, and sometimes it's in a bad way. I don't know. Trauma does really weird stuff. Like it's not always productive, but I guess even when it's not productive, it shows you some stuff about.
It's funny because it's like the inspiration, you can't find it finds you in a lot
Yeah.
of ways, but at the same time it's like, isn't that writing process is always, it's like, you know, everyone's not everything that you write isn't like a total. Is that too much for you?
Sorry, I've never had so many mic issues one day.
What is it? Mercury's in retrograde?
I mean, yeah, microscope is in Gatorade,
Yes.
so I think
Yeah.
everything's getting
Microscope
really crazy.
Is in Gatorade.
Pound
Crazy.
sign.
Yeah.
Microscope is in Gatorade.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
With the kids.
So where do you guys usually seek your inspiration with your music? You guys have a really fun style, but it still is a little ominous at times.
Yeah, I think, I mean, the name Pleasure Curses is sort of, I definitely had an affinity towards duality. So there's a good, bad, 1, 2, there's two of us, on, off, back and forth, mic on, off, backwards, forwards.
Yeah. Too close, too far.
Too close and too far. But yeah, there's a little bit of light in the dark, and vice versa, and so I think I kind of gravitated towards things that were a little bit darker, but I also really like the kind of energy and the mirth that electronic music has, and we both have. I've known Evan since I was about 10, 11 years old.
Yeah.
And so I mean, we've been in punk bands, and we kind of, I think, we both were teaching ourselves how to produce with electronic music, but because we had more of a bass guitar drum background, we were approaching things electronically with a punk rock aesthetic.
Yeah.
And so like the DIY aspect of it, like we did all our artwork and like a lot of our posters and all of our t-shirts and our own press photos. And see, it's kind of what everybody does when they don't have any money to pay anybody else.
Yeah,
and they
that's the
wanna
other thing.
learn.
Like, we don't have the money to do it, so
Yeah.
I learned how to become a musical
But the benefit to
engineer.
that is that you learn how to do things for yourself and you become much more
Yeah.
self-sufficient.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
It's nice to know what you're at least have an idea of what you're getting into.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I like what you said about the duality, and I feel like people are so, and it's been magnified even more, recently. Everything is not binary,
Yeah.
and there's so much in the middle that people miss out on.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
And there isn't one without the other, and it isn't just one or the other.
Right.
I mean,
Binaries are super easy, but literally nothing is a binary. Like everything is in the middle.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You can either get with that and get down in the chaos of it all and figure your way through it, or be held back by the fact that you're just looking at things as one way or the other. And I don't think that sounds fun to me. I can't speak
right.
for everybody.
Yeah.
But being in the middle is always, I don't know, more fluid. You can just figure everything out.
Yeah. And I think that comes in lyrically, very often the perspective of whatever the lyrics are isn't necessarily me it's not an autobiographical take on what's going on. It might be the feeling of a moment
Totally.
from maybe a kind of ugly perspective,
Mhm.
but that is more interesting to reach out than
you can't have one without the other.
exactly. And
You
so
cannot
even
have
though
one without the other.
we're about the duality of it, we're actually singing about things that are maybe more in the gray.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's an important thing for everyone to realize, and because art and music is about the feeling.
Yeah.
You can like boast so much about it being like what you said, autobiographical, but it's really not. It's like there's this feeling that you're trying to put out there, and even if it's visual art, it's just like a little bit of an experience that you're tapping into,
Yeah.
and it makes you think about life in a different way.
Yeah.
And it's also being comfortable with, we can't just relish in the times that we're high without appreciating when we're low.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized over the last year in big time that taking that when you're down and you're depressed or you're feeling low, doing the best that you can to stop for a minute and understand how crucial that is and how necessary it is, because you can't have those extreme happy moments and you can't have that bliss. It's a part of it. I sit in it. I appreciate it. Like it's there for a reason.
Yeah.
Because it's an ebb and flow, and like the creative process is like that, and us as emotional humans are like that. And embracing those moments where you're not feeling so super hot or on it, or
Yeah.
the day's not going your way, is like, it's just balance.
Yeah. Sucks sometimes, but you just gotta
Yeah.
be in it. You gotta be there.
What would you say your guys' creative process is like?
It depends.
I make beats and then I do what Jan says. It's pretty
Yeah.
easy.
I just whip them a
Steve.
lot. It's
It's easy. I mean, it's also really fragmented just because like we both have similar backgrounds as far as like being somewhat antisocial and introverted and just like sitting in a room on your computer for hours and like making a bunch of weird sounds. And then so basically our reintroduction to each other around like college was like, oh, you sit in a room and just make weird sounds on a computer for hours. I sit in a room for hours and make sounds. Let me hear your sounds. You hear my sounds. And it just went back and forth. And like to a degree, I would say that the most productive times that we ever make stuff, it's just still that. Like, it's just like, hey, I made these 9 absurd, weird things. Hey, this is like a weird, this sounds like a jazzercise song, but run through tape with oil on it. What does this make you feel? And then you have the other person to just be like, oh, I hear this instantly. And then now it's like the whole is greater than the sum of its parts kind of situation.
So it's a lot of piecing it, like separate piecing together. Or do you guys ever do a lot of work in the same room?
we definitely do.
We do a lot. I mean, we kind of have a.
It's not like we just don't talk to each other.
Like you guys are like in the same house, but
We
in
have 9
separate
scheduled
rooms.
I
minutes.
guarantee you, if eye contact is made, someone is catching a beating.
You don't even text. You guys are.
No.
You guys are.
We live
you
in the
were
same house, but it's like
messaging
walled
each
off in the
other
middle.
in World of Warcraft, which you don't play.
No,
We don't.
not at all.
Just for the message.
Just for the message.
You're a
See, that's
fan,
what I
right?
thought.
Yeah.
I had that vibe.
Sometimes.
You guys- I wasn't
Yeah,
sure.
it started with like him having songs that he had written, and then me being like, oh, well, have been playing with this weird thing and we can make it work with that. That was like the earliest kind of version of what we were doing. And I don't know. I feel like it's always kind of a hybrid of those things a little bit.
It goes back to like how we met, because we met at a summer camp when we were like young kids, and he was in eventually like a band when he was about 14.
Yeah, 13, 14.
Where he was playing bass, and I always thought that band was really cool because everything is very like bass driven. And then I lived in Northern England for a bit, and so I was like really big into New Order and Joy Division, where it's like the Peter Hook bass line. And
so glad you said New Order. You remind me of that.
Well,
dude.
one of the first things that we did when we were teaching each other production is we gave each other like a little challenge to see how close each one of us could recreate Bizarre Love Triangle, like the instrumentals of it on GarageBand, because that was what we were using at the time.
Yeah.
And so,
You guys skipped Fruity Loops, or
I have Fruity Loops on my phone, and I still mess with Fruity Loops.
I think at that point Fruity Loops wasn't even allowing audio.
It was just on PC.
But
you
I had a
couldn't
friend
record
that
into
did
it.
my first beat.
Yeah.
I had a friend that was so insane. He would do Fruity Loops in a free trial, and he didn't have the full version, so he had to make it all and then export it right there, because if it
You don't
it
get to
never exists
I remember
again.
I had it on like a dial-up computer.
Oh my gosh.
This is a personal question. Do you guys, as someone who has written music long ago, personally, I'm asking, do you guys ever find pieces of songs like here that you're going, wait a second, this really like, do you find something you created like ages ago?
Oh, like work it
like
back
it
in?
finally fits together,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
that part that it's like, God, I can't finish this song, and like a year
Absolutely.
later,
Yeah.
you
And
like
very
find
often
that fill.
100%.
That vocal idea will come in when we're running through it to like get ready for the next live show that we're doing. You know, you find something in the energy of the moment that's less likely to come to be when it's compositional and you're just sitting in front of a computer.
I did like to hear that you guys were like in punk bands and shit, because I feel as if I connect most with people who were in punk bands. I don't know if they make my favorite music because they come from a place where it was like pure like emotion and like passion and like, I'm just gonna say this, but then you blend it in with your like new style, and you've
like
kinda,
grown up.
Yeah, you get a hybrid of it. And I don't know, there's something there.
Yeah.
There's definitely something there. I think that DIY ethic is very important. The idea of like, I don't have the flashiest instruments. I don't have the most expensive gear. I don't have a bunch of money to throw on promotion. How can I make this work?
Yeah.
Right. I know, in the air of like, no one's gonna sign or support this. Like we are the everything. We're the label. We're the artist. We're the management. But you're actually like creating something really dope.
Yeah.
It's just subculture, and at the moment, you don't think anything of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and also there's something to be said for like, you know, I wasn't in a band at that point to be cool, for sure.
Right.
Like we definitely were not cool. We were just like kids that really
And you
wanted
weren't
to make
making
something.
money.
We weren't making a cent. But my friend's dad did drive us to the ice cream store where our DIY show was set up at like a vegan ice cream shop in Northern Virginia. So it's like there's something to that, like, I just need to do this, and I don't really care how it looks or what is going to happen. I just need to do it. And that carries. Like, I mean, I wouldn't be doing this right now if that wasn't still a part of the like feel of it. Was like, I don't care how it looks. I'll go play in a barn in Manassas, Virginia.
Oh yeah.
Because it just means playing.
It just means doing this thing, and that's
That
maybe why the past 8 months have been so weird and hard. I don't know.
That's for sure.
Yeah, trauma.
Has it been 8?
I don't know. I'm just saying that. I heard someone say it, and it sounds right.
It's been too
Time's a
long.
March
construct.
13 was my date of like laid off work. Started to hit. We got on the early first wave, and then watching everyone just like get let go from their jobs and have all this fallout. So I don't know.
Crazy.
March was, what are numbers? 3? Yeah, almost 8 months.
Jeez,
Yeah.
Well, anything else you want to say before the audience hears your music? Because we're gonna put this first.
Okay. I beat him on a daily basis.
Yeah.
One day we'll track down the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. One day.
Who's gonna win at Mario Kart? Who's crushing at Mario Kart?
Not me.
I
I'm
haven't
not a
played
hand-eye
Mario Kart
coordination
in a
person.
long time, like not since it was on the Wii.
Yeah.
Where,
I
you-
was-
where
I
can
was
people
okay.
find you other than on Mario Kart streaming?
Yeah, I mean, we've got
Outside of World of Warcraft.
yeah. So I would say, I mean, we've got Bandcamp. You can search us on Bandcamp, Spotify, SoundCloud,
At Pleasure
at Pleasure Curses.
We're on all the internet things.
Yeah.
£.
# at
Pound sign.
1234.
Pound it. Well, yeah. All right. So listen to them here and then listen to them there.
Yeah.
They're freaking awesome. And we really appreciate you guys tuning in. So at Pleasure Curses on all the platforms. I know it fell out. And thanks for
Thanks for
listening,
being
everyone.
here, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Thanks so
thank
much
you.
for having us.
Yeah.
What made you pick up the gun? Nice guys, no rides, no fun. Future isn't what you imagine. Oh no, so blame it on a setting sun. But their kids get made. So fortified from any indecency. Dazzled up to win any pageant. Organized to a fun routine. That gum is back in style. Add this book to the pile. Fuck you if you thought it was magic. See it here with the winning smile. But now you wanna be free. For just a bit of legitimate dignity. Is the future just a little less tragic? Or is that the admission fee? Say you're not the only one. Say you're not the only one. Say you're not the only one. Come on. Say you're not the only one. Say you're not the only one. Say you're not the only one. Come on. Say you're not the only one. Say you're not the only one. Say you're not the only one. Sugar coat, watch we play. Find if you online for free. 'Cause I'm the band of bandits. You stand on text on the sidelines. Swipe left with me. It's not my problem. While good friends die on the timeline. Why should we care? It's only one more degree. Do you agree? Top of the stairs to throw me more currency. Always owe them. We've become beggars with blinders on. Make me complete. Pretend to know ya. Live life much open kind of way. Utility and I'm down. baby. Perfect fantasy for a personal hell, baby. Waking up to scream from your broken screens, ended tonight. What is right outside? The sugar-coated fills with me. The sugar-coated fills me. The sugar-coated. This one's on PDX Pop-Now. Yeah. Say I'm a system of love, as if we're right all along. Perfume will follow you home, as if you never know. Could die for symmetry, as though your line's on a key. Say I'm a system of love, and then you run out of me. But don't go back overboard. 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 Say I'm a system of love, as if you're right all along. 'Cause perfume will follow you home, as if you never know. I died for symmetry, but it was just a degree. Say I'm a system of love, and then you run out of me. Sit down. Don't go back. Go back overboard. Don't go back. Perfume follows you home, calling you home, calling you home. Perfume follows you home, it's calling you home, calling you home. Perfume calling you home, follows you home, follows you home. Perfume follows you home, it's calling you home, calling you home. Well, it